Let's begin in Wellington, where hundreds of people have gathered outside Parliament to protest against a rape culture which they say is pervasive across the country. The protest is in response, initially anyway, to online messages about rape and was prompted by those messages posted by two Wellington College students on Facebook last week, joking about raping intoxicated girls. Our reporter Michael Kropp is there live at the scene and joins us via live view. Michael, it looks like a pretty big turnout behind you. Have you any idea how many people are there?
It's a substantial turnout. Look, on Facebook they were estimating more than 400 people clicked attending, but it could be a little bit higher than that. I'm not great with numbers. Some people are saying as high as 1,000. I wouldn't quite put it that high, but everyone who is here is emphatic about why they're here. You might be able to hear a little bit of that cheering in the background, and I guess they describe themselves as proud protesters who are here to put a line in the sand and to say that every behaviour that constitutes rape culture, from joking about the normalisation of sexual violence to the actual committing of sexual violence, they are saying that every single one of those behaviours is harmful, that it's unacceptable and that it needs to be called out.
Who is there, Michael, and where are they from in broad terms?
Who is there? Well, we have students from many of the high schools in the area. It was initially expected just to be a few high schools, but I've encountered people from at least 5 or 6. We've got young women, young men. We've got MPs from almost every party, and the Deputy Prime Minister, Paula Bennett, also the Minister for Women, she spoke and she said that she commended the people here for their bravery, both the young men and the young women, saying that their voices were important and that those voices needed respect. We've also heard from Green MP Jan Logie, who shared messages about the harmful nature of sexual violence, and Grant Robertson, a Labour MP. I'm fairly certain he's the only male speaker. He was saying that we must always stand up against sexual violence, and that it's effectively those simple messages of no meaning no.
Michael, it's a raucous old crowd, and whoever's speaking at the moment is being very well received. But you've got someone standing beside you. Who have you got with you?
I've got Mia Fayumu here. Now, she's year 13 at Wellington East, and she's been involved since the beginning with organising this protest. So, Mia, why organise this? Why draw attention to this harmful culture?
We felt that lots of these comments are made constantly all the time, and we felt that there wasn't enough action being done, and what happened recently that was shown in the media, we felt like that was kind of a tipping point for us, and that we felt like it shouldn't continue, that we needed to actually make an action and bring more attention to it. And the turnout that we've seen today shows that lots of people agree with us and that there's a lot of support behind what we're doing. So, yeah.
What are some of the key messages that you really hope people take away today?
I hope people take away that joking about rape or normalising rape or any issue similar to this just isn't okay, and that it's very harmful to people and to victims, and we hope that people take away that this isn't an issue that should be normalised at all. And we also hope what we're calling for compulsory education on consent within high schools, and we hope that's something that leads to wider discussion and is more and that something from that happens. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we also heard from the Deputy Prime Minister Paula Bennett saying that we hear you when you're talking about perhaps there needs to be more education on healthy relationships, on consent, on sexual education. Do you hope that this means concrete changes to perhaps how this is taught at schools?
I mean, we can never tell, but I hope that it does, her saying that she hears us and we're having a lot of support from MPs and some of them talking, that we hope that means that there actually will be change and that we actually are being heard, and we see some changes in the future happen.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mia. So tonight, this evening, we've also heard from people who are saying that they cannot believe that they are still protesting against this. Some of the signs in the crowd are along the lines of the simple no means no, but others have been a little bit more forthright in terms of saying instead of boys will be boys, but boys will, and then boys is crossed out saying will be held accountable for their consequences.
Michael Crop from a very noisy foreground at Parliament. So, roughly 500 people there. Estimates vary between 400 and 1,000, but it's a bigger turnout than many people had expected. Schools from across the region, a lot of adult support there. I noticed a couple of boys from Wellington College were also there. Compulsory education on consent is one of the concrete things being called for by organisers. Paula Bennett spoke to the people there and said she supported that live from Parliament.